Yeah, it's a little tiny, but maybe it's
Yeah,
like normal when we watch it back.
maybe. I don't know. Well, welcome everyone to another Run Wild with us. Ask us whatever the hell you want. I'm Lisa Kastner. I'm the founder and executive editor of Running Wild. That consists of 5 imprints, and I'm here with some of our phantasmagorical editors. And we are here so that you can ask us whatever the hell you want. It can be around publishing, it can be around the business of publishing, it can be, um, I don't, honestly, seriously, you can ask us whatever you want. Um, you are currently hearing Cecilia and I basically chatting about the fact that so the company that we use for our live streams, or that we used, was called StreamYard, and StreamYard got taken over by Vimeo. And so we're still, we being me, trying to figure out how to use this thing. And I don't know why, but like our screen to see each other right now is showing up so tiny. But I don't think I changed anything.
What if you hit full screen? Hit full screen and see what it does. What happens?
Okay, let's see. Uh, I don't know that I don't think will it let me? I can edit, I can duplicate screen. Why would I duplicate the screen? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you have two little ones.
Yeah, like, but this is so bizarre. What if okay, I had to hit zoom, which I'm sure this is gonna cause me a whole lot of interestingness later on. Oh, settings. Let's try that. Let me see. Anyway, in the meantime, while I'm sitting here trying to make this better for us all, um, guys, what's going on? Cecilia, Ben, what have you guys been working on? What's new and exciting? Is there anything that you want to talk about?
I just signed up for a whole slew of projects with Running Wild Press. So we signed on a lot of new authors. And so over the next few months, all the way through December and January, I'm booked. So that's exciting. And the authors sound really nice. And I love their manuscripts. So I'm excited to get going on that. And then yeah, I did the video, my little cooking show for Halloween in July for the Horror Writers Association. So Alex was my cameraman. He held the camera steady while I attempted to make vintage Halloween recipes in my kitchen. We pulled it off in one take, no edits. So it's just me in my kitchen in my fuzzy slippers making these things. And I'll have to say, the hardest thing was tasting each item. To give it a taste on camera. I don't know how these food vloggers and celebrity chefs and whatnot eat on. I nearly choked on the popcorn I made because I didn't mix the popcorn mixture in together, so I didn't get all the sugar and the caramel. I got some dry popcorn, and I feel like my eyes are watering at one point where I'm like trying to talk and chew. There's a very dry section that I pulled out for myself to eat. But other than that, it went well. I handed it in. And once I know that it's being advertised, I'll just go ahead and send a link and you all can see it and enjoy. Maybe we'll pop it in the chat at some point. So that was part of my 4th of July weekend. And then we survived. We survived the fireworks. We did a Jaws viewing, and then they made like Jaws wine and wine spritzers with the label. So we had a little bit of that. We called it shark juice. And
That's adorable.
and then we went out to eat, and we went to the movie theater. We saw Jurassic World. And here's what made it really fun. I had no idea this was going to happen, but my husband scream laughed every time a dinosaur ate a person. And it was hilarious. It was really funny. I had no idea that he would do that. 26 years of marriage, I'd never seen him scream laugh so hard at dinosaurs eating the people. So as a horror writer, that warmed my heart.
Okay.
Match.
Wow.
He's a keeper. He's a keeper.
I married the right one.
That sounds like a fabulous 4th of July weekend.
It was good. Yeah.
How about you, Ben? What did you do that?
On the 4th of July weekend, I just got behind another weekend on all the stuff I should be doing. But working my way through the Super Freak memoir, and got a little behind, not as far ahead as I thought it'd be, but it's still there, waiting on me.
Okay.
And a week ago or so, I wrote a submission for the World of Cure second anthology with a deadline of October 1st, everyone. And when I submitted it, I noticed that I was the one and only in there. I don't know about this week, but I submitted Half Moon for the second anthology of the Cure world.
I'll call it whatever you want. I know there are a couple of people who are writing a short story for it because they ping me and just to let me know. So,
but the deadline's 1 October, right?
Right. Yeah. They've got a lot of time. It's not until October.
Oh, a lot of time.
Yeah. You were just hyper on top of it. That's all.
Yeah. I was probably avoiding doing something else.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes. So far, you're the only one.
Is there a minimum word length for it? Minimum, maximum word length for the submissions?
No, not really. I mean, maximum is probably, I'd say, 15,000?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're pretty flexible with minimum, so that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. It sounds like I had a very similar weekend to Ben's. I just tried to catch up as much as I could, and because I'm working on so many anthologies and full length pieces, and it and then I have my own work that I got through my 4th round of edits, and I still have. Sorry, I have notes on it. I have 1, 2. I still have 3 more rounds to go because I use each round as a focus point. So I'll focus on, pacing, or I'll focus on, the characters' voices in dialogue, or, whatever the case may be. Like those things that I know I'm inconsistent in when I do my first round. So. And Ben's sitting here laughing because he edits a lot of my work. So
sometimes in your second round too.
Sometimes what?
In your second round as well, not just your first round, but
that's true.
No.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do a complete 6th round, and then I hand it off to Ben, and that's when we discover we need a 7th round.
That's okay. That's the process.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Yeah, exactly. We all have those kinds of nuances. So, I mean, we've had plenty of authors that, we acquired their work and then basically had to sit down with them and said, okay, look, you've got a solid concept here. Then now let's talk about, what are you trying to accomplish? And then they end up doing a complete rewrite. Mm-hmm. Just based on the conversation, and the rewrite is 100 times stronger than the original submission. So, it happens. And so guess what? I'm going to be doing the middle of this month. Hold on. Peter just texted us. He's in the wings. Okay, now I have to figure out how to get him out of the wings. Hold on.
Is he backstage?
This someday I'll figure out this format. Okay. I found him. Let me add him.
There he
Okay, I
comes.
did write that story. I wrote that story about the flashing in and out in a meeting. I don't know where it went. It's in the atmosphere somewhere, but I sent it somewhere.
Let me
Peter is closer.
He says I click on the link and all I can do is watch, not join.
Oh.
Well, Ben, you can make it, and can you send him the link you use, since clearly I'm doing something wrong?
Yeah, we can try it.
Yeah.
And then,
Uh,
last time we did that is when I started flashing in and
Yeah.
out when it didn't know who was who. But we
But I
can
don't
try.
think it showed up that way when it recorded. I think it was
mm-mm.
steady. I think we were the only ones who saw the flashing.
Oh, well, the last time? Yeah, it
Yeah,
could
I think
be.
so.
It could be. So, but yeah, I think we all do. Like, Ben will submit like a poetry collection, and a lot of it comes down to, like, how do we want to structure this? What order do we want to put the stories in? How to make it so that the whole thing comes across as a full narrative. It's not just like a regurgitation of ideas, which is very easy to do for anybody, whether it be a short story collection or novellas or poetry. So, but yeah, I went out and got barbecue with
good.
Joelle. So,
Good.
so that was fun. Yeah. So, and and I also went to the Writers Coffee House in San Diego. So, for those of you who may not be familiar, there's the first of the month is a writers get together at Mysterious Galaxy Bookstore in San Diego, and it's to talk more about the business of writing versus like craft, or it being an opportunity for somebody to draft new work. And it's nice to go, because you always find out something new, because there's people from all walks of life, those who are with standard publishers, those who are with can we hear? I can hear you. And now Ben's flickering again. Okay. I don't get it.
That's what did it.
All right. So how do I? This is just weird. Is there one to? No, I don't want. No, that's not it. Okay. I'm sorry, Ben. I didn't mean to screw you up.
Yeah, well, at least he knows he got my email. At least
All right. I'll send you both new emails. So I'm gonna remove you both. So now it's the Cecilia and Lisa show.
I love that idea though of going through and editing specifically for specific things. I haven't done that yet with my own work. I usually just go through, like with authors, I do. I'm looking for specific things each time I edit. But with my own work, I'm like, all at once, I'm like, oh, I want to change everything. So it's good to focus on one thing at a time. It's a lesson that I have to apply for myself.
I mean, admittedly, I completely stole it from Donald Moss. Has a really great, I think it's called how to write the breakthrough novel, and the workbook itself is basically broken down that way. And you pretty quickly figure out. I really don't understand why sometimes Peter has an issue trying to get to it, and other times he doesn't. Like, this doesn't make any sense, but all right, I just sent them both a new link, so we'll see. But yeah, how to write the breakthrough novel. It's great for a multitude of reasons, but especially because it really forces you to look at like finalizing a novel, focusing on key elements that really the reader is going to be most engaged in, right? Not, what you as the author want to make special, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, oh, this is so bizarre. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to figure out how to get the backstage again, because the backstage disappeared.
Oh, it disappeared. Yeah, I can't find mine either.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't make any sense. No. Why won't it show me? No.
There's a teleprompter feature. I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, right? It is fascinating. I feel like, oh, here we go. Okay, I found the backstage again, but it doesn't look like either one of them are actually there.
Huh. Oh, there's the chat. They moved the chat, so I finally found it. Found the chat. Somebody asked a question I wouldn't have known. I think I'm allowed to ask questions, but welcome your audience by sending a message. It's prompting me.
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me, because I can't see the chat right now either.
So should I just, I'll just type hello.
Yeah, totally.
Can you see that?
No.
Oh, wait, that's just I did it to the audience. So maybe the audience saw it.
Well, that part would be good if the audience saw it.
Yeah.
This is so weird. Like, it's just,
I feel like it's my first day on the job. Okay, so where are my icons and what am I doing?
I got it, but I took over. So, okay, so now it looks like, so Peter, okay, let me try this. It sent him so he could see us, but he can't log in.
Can't get in. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's Peter, and then let me send Ben a new one. Okay, although Ben's here, so maybe he won't flicker.
Oh, there's Ben! Yay!
I went back into the old link.
Oh, okay.
The one you just sent, all I could do was view.
So I just sent Peter a new link, because now it'll let me send links to each individual. Yeah, I don't know. It's hopefully he can get in now. I guess we'll find out, huh? Let's see. And my cat, of course, is like, yay, this is so cool, chaos. There he is. Okay.
Oh, yay.
Yay!
Wow, hello.
Hey. All right. All right, now I think I can get to the chat. Okay, I can see Cecilia's hello.
The audience may be able to see my hello as well. So
yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know. Okie doke. Oh well, whatever. So Peter, how was your holiday?
Holiday was good. The week before that wasn't so great, but we survived. We thought it was going to rain all weekend. Didn't rain a drop, so we were supposed to have visitors, and we couldn't have them over because we thought it was going to storm. Other than that, we had a good time.
Oh, okay.
We're a little overserved on Saturday night at a local party, but that happens.
It does. That's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. So Yeah, things are good. I'm sorry about the technical delays. I don't get it.
No, I honestly, we were all like, this isn't behaving the way it did last time. Now, how do we get it, fix it?
I,
So
I, I used to be in IT. That was a long time ago.
I'm in yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I swear, starting the beginning at the top of the year of 2025, all of a sudden, all this stuff just started behaving wildly differently.
hmm
And like even today, I clicked to upload one document, and it uploaded like 6.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
like, now I know I only clicked on one, so this is completely illogical. I don't know. So I have to like triple check everything because everything is not behaving as it like should.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah.
So
Anyway, so is there anything going on that you want to, Peter? You want to talk about anything exciting or fun?
exciting, fun? No, same old, same old. Unfortunately, just getting through books, having my own adventures with my authors, which is always fun. I've got some comments about structure and place and description that need to
Mm-hmm.
be addressed. It's bubbling forth inside my chest, and I need to get it out so that to stress the importance of telling the reader where they are in the story, that kind of thing, what they're
Mm-hmm.
looking at, how things feel, how things affect them. I mean, this is important. It's not a script. It's not a movie script. It's not a play. It needs place. It needs location. It needs senses. And one of the novels I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at just doesn't have it. Like, just doesn't have it like on purpose. It's like, so every time I get to get a rhythm going, I hit a brick wall because it's like, where are we? What's going on? Okay, they're in the back of a car. What does the seat feel like? What's the front of the car look like? What's the rain pounding on? Okay, there's rain pounding on the ceiling of the roof of the car. Why is there a cop standing next to the car, not worrying about the rain? I mean, there's no description, no nothing whatsoever. I'm like, how can I get involved with this? You see, it's been bothering me because I was for a couple weeks because he's missing out on so much depth and so much color that he can totally bring this novel to a higher level kind of thing, and that's what I'm hoping to convey to the author. So that's been the most exciting thing is just getting past last week and getting through this novel. So that's what life is like on the East Coast right now.
Wow.
So yeah, I missed you guys last week. I'm glad your call went well, but I just was not up for it. I had a bad weekend the week before, so
Yeah. I'm just like, okay.
everything's fine. Things are better now. It was a minor catastrophe that I got through. So just more patience and peril, if you know what I mean.
Got it. Yeah.
So
Well, I had when I went to the American Library Association convention. Right. So let me back up a little. We were featured front and center in our distributors section, which was basically like half of a an aisle, that's huge.
That's big.
And I knew that they had reached out to me and said, do you want anything, featured? And I was like, yeah. And so I just basically gave them all the books that I knew we were going to be putting out in the second half of this year. Because it's like, why not? Mm-hmm. And, I gave them like a postcard so that if anybody wanted to order from us, they could just go to the postcard and, click on the QR code and go right to it, all that kind of thing. And I thought they're going to turn around at some point and go, Lisa, tough noogies, you can't have all this, right? But I figured if you're going to ask me, then I'm going for it. I'm going to put the world out there. And they said that we were getting a ton of attention. The librarians and the attendees absolutely adored our covers. They loved the concepts. meaning, like the back jacket copy. They were like super into it, really excited at what they were seeing. And they were to the point where they were actually like bringing people over, like, oh my God, you got to check this out. This is so cool. So, that for me, at least, that was like a huge, like, yes, and then we also had a couple of our authors. Originally, they were supposed to do book signings, but our printer had some technical difficulties and the printer went down. So we couldn't get the books in time. And so what I did is I actually did a quick print run of just, again, postcards with QR codes on it that they could give out. And then whoever, went to the QR code could just say, hey, I saw you guys at ALA. I'd love a free copy of whichever book,
Mhm.
and that also got a lot of attention. So it was, I thought it was really good. And I also found it really interesting that there was like a slew of attendees who were actively seeking out books that were either banned, looked like they would be banned, or were like on the fringe. And like even coming to people who had tables and saying, do you have anything that you think would be considered like not I guess like nonconformist, right? Or non-traditional might be a better way of putting it. And, so I was like, that's all we do. Boom, like here, you need to go to our website. We basically do anything that's on the fringe, And but I thought that was fascinating that there were so many just really actively going out and saying, and what was even funnier is that they knew the history of, like once upon a time, like Tom Sawyer was banned. Once upon a time, some of the most iconic stories of our time that are now taught in schools are mandated at one point in time were banned, So I don't know, that this will sound dorky, but that warmed my heart. I was just so happy that people actually knew. So.
Well, never underestimate the librarians,
No.
because they know the stuff. They know the words, so they're the purveyors.
It was also cute when they were like, "Oh, I'm a librarian at a middle school." I was like, "That's fine," because it was like, I don't want to waste your time. I'm like, you're not wasting my time as long as you enjoy the story. Like, game on,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So that was super fun.
Awesome.
Oh, and I also had some librarians reach out to me and let me know that they loved the book that we gave them. They loved, and they then added it to their the books they actually made available to the kids, and that the kids were really into it. So I thought that was super cool as well.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So do you like sit at the table at these events, or do you just who mans the table, or who or is it just a free for all kind of thing?
I think it depends. Like I had never. All right, back up. So we're members of IBPA, which is the Independent Book Publishers Association, and they represent anything from like teeny, like independent presses, meaning someone who's self-published, they just basically publish their own work, to, like the Chicago Review, right? Which is, I would actually consider Chicago Review to be a mid-sized press, and they've been around forever, or like Red Hen, again, I would consider them to be like mid-sized and they've been around forever, but I'm not defining these things, so I don't have a say. But for a really long time, there wasn't any tiers to it, right? Like it was just like you remember and that was it. Well, then I guess they did an analysis of all of their members and realized there was a good number who would actually be considered a large small press, or like they even redefined some as mid-size. And so you got a whole nother slew of benefits if you, well, A, you had to fit the criteria, and B, you get additional benefits if you were considered like a large small press or mid-size press. Well, they sent me an email a couple months ago saying, hey, based on the number of books you guys publish, and you know the number of books that you sell, blah blah blah, you would be considered a large small press. And so if you want, you can join under that criteria. Well, also new this year for ALA, they offered large small presses and mid-sized presses to have their own like booth, which was cool, because what they did is they basically bought the whole, like one whole side of an aisle, and then sublet booths and tables to some of the presses, or to like some of the authors, like that kind of thing. I wasn't sure. I hadn't seen it before. Again, we'd never had this opportunity before. So instead, I just reached out to authors that I knew we had who were local. And I said, I'll tell you, like, I'll pay for you to do book signings. And then that way you can also wander around the whole convention and, check out speakers and all that kind of thing. So, and then I volunteered to actually man some of the aisle. So when you're a volunteer, they just basically tell you, okay, you're going to be supporting these authors who are doing book giveaways, or you're going to be, maybe you're giving away flyers, right? Or, maybe there's something that they want to promote around a panel that they're supporting, and so they want you to, advertise it, right? Like going around the aisles or something like that. So a lot of what I did was volunteering for IBPA, and then supporting our authors who had, they were supposed to have book signings, and instead we just gave away, postcards to advertise their work. And then, because honestly, like I said, I wasn't sure how everything would be represented for IPG, for our distributor. So honestly, I think, and I even told Tim, the head of sales, like, if you want me to come out next year and help man the booth or the aisle, I'm happy to do it, right? Because any way that can help promote all of this great work, I'm down. So we'll see. Maybe next year it's in Chicago. This year it was in Philadelphia. So we'll see like how it kind of plays out. But like, you can get a ticket where it's basically just allows you access to the convention hall, which I think they call it like the book market or something like that, because everyone's a vendor. Everyone's giving away their latest books, and they have like huge names who are doing giving away their books and doing book signings, like Brene Brown, right? Huge New York Times bestselling authors. And honestly, a lot of companies use it as an opportunity to give away advanced review copies to really promote the books that they want to get the most push for that year. So, like the Penguins and the Simon and Schusters and like all of them, they all have, huge areas where they actually publish schedules. Like, here's when this author is going to be here, right? And here's when this famous person's going to be here. So I like to call it, it's the library's version of San Diego Comic-Con. So it's a lot. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons of people, and just because everyone is aware of the different companies that are there and like who's represented, because it's not just librarians. It's actually a lot of retailers. It's a lot of just people who are selling or purchasing stories. Like they're looking for what's going to be the next hot thing next year. So. Yeah.
So they're looking for new authors, looking for for like Barnes and Noble and different places like that, looking for new authors to pick up from the different presses. And do they base their decisions on publishing house history in terms of sales, or do they just know the reputations, or how do they base their decisions? I mean, because it's just looking at a book. I mean, how do they make the call? Or is
That's a great question. I mean, my bet is that because I was actually surprised, several knew us. Like they came out, and when they saw our logo and they saw, the books that we had, like they would actually tell me about some of the books that they had bought that we'd published in the past, and so they were like really stoked to check out our new works. But in terms of how they buy it, I mean. And I thought this was kind of cute. There were people who actually got like rolling suitcases or like rolling,
wagon,
because they knew they were just going to go around, and if it looked cool, like, and they'll even walk up to you and tell you like, okay, I love, fantasy and horror, right? Or my kids are asking for this, and this, meaning like the kids that they represent for the libraries, right? And it was like, okay, here, you want to look at this one, this one, this one, this one, right? And I mean, they had to be shipping stuff home. I mean, it was that volume of books that were being picked up, So
cool.
I think a lot of it, and admittedly, a lot of the booksellers, or not booksellers, a lot of the publishers, I did this previously, right? When they come up to you and just start talking, it's like, what are your kids asking for? What do you find that's most interesting? What do you think is going to be really hot? And they're so passionate about it. They're more than happy to tell you. So.
Cool.
Yeah, but I don't think it's based on logic.
Something fun really is. So
that's true. But you guys definitely need to go. Like if you can, I think I want to see what the pricing's like for us, either to be actually at IPG's table or booth or aisle, or to get one of the mini booths as a part of IBPA's area, because I just really think there's a lot of benefit for us to have that interface, to have that interaction, even beyond the librarians. So,
it's going to be in Chicago next year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, sign me up.
You got it, man.
It's my hometown, so if any places that I remember still exist, I'll take us to some of those cool places.
Now that all right, that game on. You
game
are.
On. I'm signed up for that.
Signed up. Are you going to bring Kath? I think you have to bring Kath. Okay,
Kathy,
cool.
Kathy will be there. Yep. So
some
really cool bars that I know of, great restaurants.
I think we'll have to do 2027 too, because it'll be in New Orleans.
Ooh.
Well, twist my
I love that reaction. I don't think I've ever been to New Orleans.
I haven't been either. Our son Alex is obsessed with it, and he wants to go. So if he's still wanting to hang around his parents in 2027, I might take him on a trip to New Orleans to the Library Association. He'll be so thrilled.
How
He'd
old
actually
is he?
love it, actually. It'd be fine. He could carry lots of books for everybody.
Totally.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
just put the link to where they're listing where all the ALA conferences are.
Okay.
They have it posted through the dates and locations through 2028. And they even have it listed. Oh, it looks like it's basically rotational. They have it listed where the past ones are, and it looks like they've been. Actually, I knew that they were at New Orleans before, but I knew because I had friends who'd gone, and let's just say they enjoyed the environment significantly. And I got to tell you, those librarians, they know how to party.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Of course they do.
of course they do. It's like, oh, okay. Admittedly, I don't think I've ever gone to one of because they have panels and like workshops and stuff. I don't think I've ever been to any of them, but it's because I'm more focused on going to the marketplace and like, seeing like who we should be like schmoozing with or just, meeting or whatever. So. And then I've been invited to a couple other things that, of course, I don't remember right now. Oh, I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con the end of this month. I'll be in on the 20th. Is it the 26th? Yep, on the 26th, I'll be on a book signing for writing for Weird Tales, and then I'll be on the actual panel on the 27th of writing for Weird Tales. So that should be a lot of fun. Yeah. So it's one of those that I get to hang out with people who I can actively harass, and they can actively harass me.
Healthy environment, of course.
Exactly. We need to figure out someplace where we can have our own panel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully we'll have one in AWP next year.
That's true. I haven't seen anything.
I haven't either. I haven't gotten any emails back about. I got the ones where, I was breaking all the rules, but I didn't. Yeah. I haven't gotten anything since.
Do you remember when she said they were going to put out, wasn't it like September or something? Or
I thought they were going to tell us when we were rejected a lot sooner than that. So I'm like waiting.
We threw a lot of darts against the wall, though.
We did. Oh, so many darts I've thrown.
Oh my gosh, seriously. We really did. Now I'm looking that one up. I'm like, okay.
I mean, no, we're a large, small press, so I mean,
yeah.
We've got some cred here.
I mean, it's from what I can tell, we've got a lot of cred. Mm-hmm. Now I could have sworn they had a page that was like, oh, okay, here we go. Presenter guidelines. Event roles and responsibilities. Okay.
I should have
which we broke.
Read those.
All of us broke all the rules.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Rules.
I don't know how you couldn't have broken all the rules.
There are so many to break.
I know. No. It's like registration policy, but that's like if I'm not a presenter. Sorry. Talk about something else. I'm trying to find the dates so we know. Yeah, AWP can take scheduling requests. Oh, they're going to take them up to September 1st. Woo!
I thought the deadline was last month or May.
That's what I thought.
I think it's going to take them a while to figure out which ones they want to pick, and then anybody who's over committed has to cancel. So I would imagine that would take a while.
That's true. Yeah, it was interesting.
I've never been to AWP. I just started
Oh, no?
submitting proposals. But
Well, that's where Peter and I first met. I don't know, Peter, do you want to give a rundown of AWP? And
It's just this colossal publisher. It's like being in a football stadium where all the entire infield or the entire field is filled with book publishers, and everybody just kind of sitting there smiling, holding books, and waiting to be either pitched or purchased from, and it's exhilarating and scary all at the same time. I thought it was awesome. I went there. I drove across the state back in 2017, and I practiced my elevator speech the entire way, 3.5 hours. I'm like,
Wow.
I'm going to find me a publisher. I'm going to find me a publisher. I got that whittled down to 15 seconds, and I hit publisher after publisher after publisher, and I got 2 that were interested. Lisa was one, and she's the one that I work with. So kind of just went from there. It's amazing though. Like the panels are, I mean, they're stellar. They're above what you expect great panels, but these are great panels plus. So it's stuff you never even thought of, never even imagined. Approaches to writing, approaches to poetry, approaches to nonfiction. Just these niche panels that'll just blow your mind with what they'll tell you, and the questions and answers that you got back and forth. It's just incredible. I mean, it is exhausting, but it's worth every minute. It's worth going to it at least once. I've been to 2, and they're just incredible. A great experience. So,
Ben, have you ever been?
No,
No.
I've just been around people who have gone and been
Rub
invited
shoulders.
to go. So the caliber of people who go and on those panels, I know.
Yeah, to Peter's point, by the way, they just say that AWP announces accepted events in August. It doesn't give the actual date or a date range. So, okay. So weird, but okay. I think I've been to 3 AWPs, maybe 4, and it's much more. It's very much about the craft of writing, and it's very literary focused, which is fabulous because you get to Peter's point, you'll have panelists like Wally Lamb or Da Chen, who was one of my, well, actually, they were both mentors of mine, but these huge literary names who they're not quite big enough yet to say, no, I'm not going there. But they're big enough that they're probably faculty at some major university, and they probably speak at a lot of the major summer conferences and workshops and stuff, at Yale or at Breadloaf or at Ohio. And it's interesting because a lot of times it seems, at least to me, it seems like they'll talk about areas of craft that it's probably something that it's a passion of theirs in that moment, So I believe one year Wally Lamb was talking about, so he's best known for a short story collection that he had written that was Link Short Stories. So the short stories themselves then formulated an overarching narrative, which hadn't been done well, let's just put it that way, previously. And so he talked about what inspired him to do it, and what were key elements that he used in order to create that overarching narrative thread, and how he came up with the various plot points, and how do you interweave each story, leveraging like to I think partially to part of what Peter was talking about earlier, like how do you enrich this by like having repetition of characters across the short stories, or repetition of environment, that the environment itself enriches the overarching narrative. So, at first you may not realize, like in Wally's collection, when you read the first 3 or 4 short stories, you don't realize they're actually connected. You do realize that they're in the same world, I guess you could say, right? But then when you hit like the 4th or 5th story is when it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is all the same family, or these are all, they're all in the same environment, and it's actually addressing a same critical moment, but from completely different perspectives. So it's more like real life, I guess, is the best way to put it, right? Because how I perceive a traumatic moment may be completely different than how Ben does, or Peter does, or Cecilia does, or my cat. I mean, definitely different than my cat. So
be closer to the cat.
Clearly. So, but that's true of all of us, right? In any situation. So he wanted to, when he was first drafting it, he realized he wanted to capture that, right? And how that would feel if you were someone, looking at it from the outside, and you were able to look into someone's, all these different people's perspectives. So, you go in and you go into a workshop like that, or a panel like that, with someone who's basically like an icon of our time, and you leave the panel tired, because it's just like you had so much thought-provoking information that was tossed at you, that you either want to go and try it immediately, or you want to go forward and like reread, like restudy some of the works that are mentioned in that talk, to kind of really like do that deeper dive, so that the next time you go back to do something similar, it's not like you don't really have to think about it, right? You just know, well, if I want to accomplish X, Y, and Z, then here are the key things that I can use as tools in my storytelling toolbox to do this most effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the AWP is and to Peter's point, you've got all the major literary publishers there.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes you'll find people who are there to talk, or to attend, because they have something that they feel is ready to be published, and they're looking for some representation, whether it be an agent. Usually there used to be a lot of agents represented there.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I just haven't been there in a while, so I don't know, but yeah, no, it's definitely worth it to kind of expand, if you want to expand your learnings and your knowledge, as well as the people that your network. So
right, for sure.
Do you have another Peter, do you have another favorite or other favorite conferences or places to check out?
Well, you mentioned, I think you mentioned Iowa, the Iowa Writers Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
I went there several years ago. Got a lot out of that, just because it's much more intimate. You've got your group of like 8 to 10 authors with one instructor that you get for several days, and then you've got your lecturers or speakers. That's much more, well, like I said, intimate than AWP. What other ones? Get the placards back from there. San Antonio, AWP, Tampa. Bread Loaf, like you said, I want to go there. Nothing really comes to the top of my head. I mean, AWP is the high and mighty in my opinion, but definitely check out Iowa Writers Workshop. That's been around I think that was the very first one, to be honest, in terms of writers workshops to attract writers.
It may have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ben, how about you?
No, it's a whole new world.
How about you, Cecilia?
I've gone to one-on-one with Louise Gluck when before she died. It was much more.
So.
Yeah. Personally, Peter, I may have gotten more out of it afterwards, but that's just me and my writing compared to hers. But I think any place where you get to be around other writers is worthwhile. Because Rodolfo Serna and I meet at a local restaurant, and he's one of Running Wild Press's authors, and puts together our newsletter for us, and we have great conversations, just the two of us.
Very cool.
How about you, Cecilia? Do you have any faves?
Years ago, when I lived in Ohio, I went to the Columbus Writers Conference, and I really liked that, Columbus, Ohio. But most of the time, I was, I taught Spanish literature, so I was at MLA a lot. And then I specialized in Golden Age theater. So there was the Hispanic Theater Association conference that was every year in El Paso. And then they used to have a theater production that they would do with it in the original, medieval Spanish from like the 15th, 16th centuries. They would reenact the plays as they were and invite anybody from the community to come, and they were free. I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think they have that grant anymore, but for years that was really neat to go to. But writers conferences, I'm new to the game, so I would love to attend AWP and some of these other things that I hear about. So and they sound invigorating and fun and amazing. When I went to the Columbus Writers Conference, I went there hoping to find an agent, and so I was, going around to all those talks and sitting with agents, but I really regret not meeting more writers, because they're the ones who they have a lot of enthusiasm that's just contagious. And so when you support other writers and you meet with them, it really has a way of just energizing you and energizing your work. Sure, it's great to meet with publishers and agents and whatnot, but other writers are the ones who are going to lift you up when you can't get a publisher or an agent or whatever it is. And you end up forming a writing groups and connections that way as well. So those are all the great things, all the takeaways from these kinds of conferences.
Oh, absolutely. And I just put links to some of my favorites. And I included like the Ohio and Yale. And I forgot to mention Superstars of Writing, which again, that's another one that's more on, it's an interesting blend of like commercial fiction, literary and so on. Anything from like major players to independent authors. And I'm actually going to be speaking at it in 2026. But they also have what's cool is they have both the big schmoozy things, but also like intimate dinners where you can sit with like an author or a publisher or whoever, and just pick their brain, right? And I think it's great. From what I'm seeing, a lot of people get a lot out of it. So it's definitely worth it. And I believe that one, it's out of Denver, Colorado. So Yeah. All right. Well, and with that, we are at the top of the hour, or ended the last one. I don't know. Whatevsky. As always, huge thank you to Peter, Ben, Cecilia. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Hopefully I'll figure out how to actually use this application so that we don't have so many technical problems. Oh well. But anyway, until then, thanks guys. Adore you, and we will see you next time.